All right, we're going live. We're live now. All right. Yes, folks, we are here. Going to talk about tacos. Who doesn't like tacos?
Who doesn't like tacos?
Repair their credit. Our team of FICO certified professionals could help no matter how bad it's gotten. But you need to call us at 855-450-9944. We'll examine your credit report and help you get it back to where you want it, allowing you to qualify for that new car, house, or car. If you're serious about repairing your credit, call us at 855-450-9944.
We got like 8 minutes left, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. 30 seconds.
Some of our clients have seen results in as few as 30 to 45 days.
Some, not so much.
855-450-9944. 855-450-9944. 855-450-9944.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It should.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry and Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Turn me up just a little bit.
Yeah. Is that good?
Yeah, that'll work.
Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the air now. They're taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Here's Tom and Jason.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817 is our call-in number. Jason and I are live in the studio today. Welcome to the show, bro.
Man, I'm getting a lot of emails where people are like, "Oh, I can't make the weekend retreat this weekend. When's the next 3 days?"
You know, there's no such thing as can't.
No, that's true.
It's a Yoda thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do what you want to do. If you say you can't, you can't. If you say you can.
Yeah.
Either way, you're right.
That's right. Yeah. So the reality is that this is the last time we're doing the 3-day. We only have a couple of seats left.
But that's not fair.
3. Well, tough.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. We're really busy and we can't do a 3-day retreat anymore. That's just the reality. That's the reality of it, right? So if you want to go, this is the last time we're doing a 3-day. June is going to be a completely different, all new weekend workshop. If you want to see the full,
it's not that we're never doing a weekend retreat again,
right?
But it'll never be a 3-day weekend retreat again.
It'll never be like this. This one in June is going to be completely new. We're gonna have a whole new passive investor side in the June retreat. So if y'all want to see,
so last time we'll have one at 197 also.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, that's done.
This is over. It's the last one for $197. So if you guys really want to learn how to do real estate like we do real estate, it's your last chance. It's that simple.
Yep.
The way the June retreat's going to look is completely different. And I think June one is actually going to be better for more investors, right? Because it's going to be more passive stuff. However, if you want to see the show that we've been doing for about the last 2 years, now's the time to do it. This is not, like I said, this is not some sales gimmick. This is it. I'm getting a zillion emails. I'm replying to one right now where he's like, well, is it going to be recorded? And can we watch it later? And no,
show up.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's like,
yeah, I can think of 2 excuses to not be there. One is mom or dad passes away.
Yeah.
Right? And like immediate family, or there's a birth, right? Those are probably the only 2 things that happen in life. Although even you crack me up going back to the story of, the first house that I ever, when I owned Fast Track before you and I partnered up, and there was a gas meter on the back patio, and I remember it because the patio was to the left of the house. As you walk in the front door, you go all the way to the left. Isn't that crazy how you remember details like that after a couple of thousand houses?
Yeah.
I remember you walk in, stairwell, and it's so weird because you go up about, there's typically 14 stairs on a typical stairwell, and you go up about 10, and then it just like you're at a window there, and it's split like 4 stairs up to the right. Isn't that crazy? You remember?
It was a neat floor plan.
Yeah, it was. So then I'm calling you about moving the gas meter. And I'm like, hey man, what and you're like, yeah, do this or that, and I don't even remember that part of the conversation, but I remember, hey, where are you right now? He goes, oh, my wife's giving birth today. I'm like, what the heck are you doing answering the phone?
I'm like, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here staring at each other.
Right.
I think she was knitting, watching TV.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there. I was working on my computer. It was at Texas Women's, which was one of my clients at the time. So I'm like, well, technically I'm at work.
I worked there one summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm technically I'm at work. So just kind of sitting there. waiting.
Just waiting. Yeah,
Waiting for Carson to show up.
Waiting for me to call, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but even on you know what? That's a great point, because after Carson was born, I hung out in the hospital that day. Sarah's mom flew into town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so do you guys need me here for anything? No, we got it. So I think I took Cameron, or maybe I didn't. I left him with Grandma. And then I moved in my first 2 tenants.
Yeah, right. All right, because I remember you came after that, and we came and walked the house, wrote a check for the final pay, and then you had tenants showing up like the next day.
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
like that. It was like that. It was either...
In fact, because I think I remember showing the property to one of the tenants. The tenant showed up while I was there. And so, yeah.
You know, the birth doesn't last all day. Once it's, out the chute, then it's like, okay, great. Now let's
women, women are going to love that phrase, out the chute.
Well, I mean, so now what? Grandma's here.
Yeah, right.
It's great. It's magical. You're going to spend the next 18 years with this kiddo. So
hopefully at least.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
So now it's time to move on to go do other stuff. And when you guys all remember when they're that little, I mean, there's not.
Yeah.
Dad's kind of like,
worthless.
Well, I mean, Dad's doing all the support services, right? So it's not a whole lot to do. And then when Grandma shows up and the other grandma shows up, there's really nothing for you to do. So you're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, there's an animal sign saying about that, right? Yeah, worthless is a teat on a wild boar.
Yeah, that's about. Is that what they teach at Texas A&M?
That's one of the meaning things.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so real estate stuff. This weekend's the last weekend retreat. Tonight's the Redneck Country Club event. You guys can come on out there and see us there. And then Thursday night, I'm giving a Q1 market update. What's happened since Harvey? What's happened in quarter one here of 2018? And then I talked about it on Facebook Live this morning. I'm going to show you what's going to happen the next 9 years. And I know people are like, oh, you can't do that.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
you got your crystal ball back from the shop.
I got it back from the shop.
Fantastic.
It is
I
polished
was wondering
up
what
and
that
ready to
delivery
go.
was yesterday from FedEx.
It is polished up, ready to go. So I'm going to open the crystal ball, and let's hope it makes it past Thursday. But I'm going to share with you what I believe the next 9 years is going to look like in Houston, Texas for real estate in Houston. So if you guys are looking for what's real estate going to be like in Dallas, what's it going to be like in Austin and St. Louis and all, I'm like, I have no idea. I've just pulled all the data for Houston. So I'm going to share that with you guys for Houston.
We kind of glossed over getting to the tomorrow night's event, but we've got a big event tonight. It's the Super Investor meeting. We're one of the co-sponsors of the event, and so I made the announcement yesterday on the radio that we're going to do something special. I'll announce it from stage, and it's very, very limited. Tom, how come you can't do like 50 of these? Because there's just not enough time.
Because we got other things to do.
Yeah, but we feel like that every time we go to an event, in fact, there's going to be lots of people in the audience, probably 300 or 400 people in the audience. I'm going to ask people, hey, how many of y'all were here last month? And how many of y'all are in the exact same spot in your business as you were a month ago, and you don't know why it is that you're stuck where you're stuck? Because, you and I feel like our specialty is sitting down with people, and in a very, very short period of time, it's that we can get people unstuck. It reminds me of the plumber. That you got a pipe that's stuck. You're looking at something.
No, keep talking. Your plumber's got a pipe that's stuck.
Got a plumber. That a homeowner's got a pipe that's stuck, and plumber shows up because you've been working on it yourself. Plumber shows up, and he pulls out a wrench, taps the wrench on the pipe. Boom! The plumbing is now unstuck. Right? And he hands over the invoice, and it's $300. Like, hey man, all you did is you just showed up and just wrapped on the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he goes, I need to have that invoice itemized. And okay, so $5 for the tool and $295 for knowing where to tap the tool on the pipe, right? So it's really from our experience. So Brian K, we do mentor coach. That's exactly right. In fact, you'll find out some information about that on our website, Right Path Real Estate. In fact, Brian, you asked the question yesterday, and we were right at the very end of the show, so I was hoping you would show up today. How do you get on that list? What will happen is immediately after I make the announcement from the stage, where you want to be in that moment is in front of the Right Path booth at the Redneck Country Club tonight. And so you'll want to see Daniel there at the booth. You won't be able to miss Daniel. He's the big guy behind the table. and sign up with him because we only have 6 slots. There'll be 3 that I will talk with, and there will be 3 that Jason talks with. And so, yeah, we have different levels of coaching depending on where your business wants to go. Because I think one of the things that makes us unique, one of many things, one is that we actually are doing real estate, buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip. We've wholesaled a ton of houses. So we've done all of that. We teach all the different ways to make money in real estate. There's only 4 ways to make money. There's not 26 gazillion ways to buy a house.
If anybody tells you something crazy like there's 27 ways to buy a house, there's 72 ways to make money in real estate, they're not being honest with you. There's 4 ways.
There's even only a handful of ways to sue other investors, but that's another show. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go there.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are watching our Facebook feed, we are about to take a title company and an investor to task, and I warned these people. I warned him a year ago, you do this, I will absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
Someone closed around our contract.
Yeah, Daniel's and good looking too. Yeah, he's the good looking guy.
That's
right behind the table. So Brian, you want to make sure you see that guy. In fact, he's on the same Facebook feed that you're on, so click it in so you can look for him. And so right after tacos, we'll be given some comments.
Yeah, so well, let's go. So let's go back to tonight. If you guys want us to spend 5 to 10 minutes with you, you've got to be at our booth,
right?
Which you cannot miss because it's lime green, and I don't know if our shirts are in yet, but everybody's gonna be wearing this lime green stuff. You'll see us all running around.
I'll probably be wearing this shirt.
I will tell you this: do not come up to me and say, "When can I schedule an appointment?"
Yeah.
Because I am not that guy.
Right,
like, that's not my job.
Daniel's that guy.
Yeah, Daniel, and I think Nikki will probably be there
2
too.
minutes.
They can help you out. But
Andy will probably be there.
Andy
also.
will be there. Which reminds me, Andy said he sent me this text and he said, "Hey, my Whataburger Magic 8 Ball is on my desk," and so I went over and grabbed it real quick. So this is the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh, nice.
So this one says jalapeno and cheeseburger.
Oh, perfect.
So it's a little bit different than my other 8 Ball I use for my market update, which I can't find that one. So if anybody can find that 8 Ball for Thursday night, that'd be great.
Careful with how you say. Can anybody find my 8 ball?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's my magic 8 ball.
My
right?
magic 8 Ball. Breakfast on a bun. That's what it says right now. So tonight, if you guys want to come see us, you want to spend 5 or 10 minutes with us, sign up with the guys at the booth, guys and gals at the booth. I do want to talk about this, people closing around us, and just, man, I'm fired up this morning because
So we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. We've got less than a minute. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. If you want to join in the conversation, you want to ask any questions, if you feel like you're stuck right now, hey, you can have 10 minutes with us right now on the radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817.
All right, mic's off.
Hey, Terry, good morning.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for
guys see my
real estate
text?
investors throughout
no.
Okay, Jim is on the phone from Houston.
Okay, perfect.
And estate planners with
Cool.
one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us.
Yeah, Andy, you have any idea where the regular 8 Ball is? Maybe it's in one of the other classrooms. It'd be great to take both of these.
Yeah, right?
Thursday night. All right, which one, guys? This one says, toasted bun, please. This is awesome. Whataburger does such a great job with the marketing, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm still pondering. That's awesome.
We ought to do a Right Path one of those. I wonder how you could get one of those.
That is a damn good idea. Hey, Andy, see if you can see if we can make a Right Path one.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Does manage it all. So give us a call today.
Yeah,
We have to come up with all the
and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I wonder what side.
That would be a great giveaway.
Oh my gosh, people would love it. I bet you they take it to work with them.
To fund your investment properties, Jet Lending will help you.
I guess you're buying a house, huh?
with as little cash out of pocket as possible.
I know.
Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
Dad wants me to talk about the Sugarland event. I'm like, Dad, it's a little early. to talk
Yeah,
about the
right,
Sugarland
yeah.
event.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a
You've
whole
got such a great
doesn't
dad.
carry a license, nor is it regulated.
I think he's always
However,
making
Foundation
comments.
Check
Pretty funny.
utilizes
Yeah, I like it.
professional engineers to review all of our
Yeah, it's a
files.
shame mine doesn't do that.
I just love what's Jason doing on Facebook?
Yeah, right.
Damn, I have no idea.
I'm
It's
like,
such
I'm getting on the Bowflex. I have no idea.
His Facebook feed is such a disaster.
I had literally just climbed out of bed, was getting on the Bowflex.
I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately.
Did you see
of
the
communication.
document
You'll
for
have a
the
dedicated
brochure?
team of a
Did-
coordinator and
I have it.
a
I did not
close
read
associate.
through it last
Give me a
night.
Yeah,
call today
Andy and I,
at
we made some, I think, some pretty strong tweaks. We spent some pretty good time on
and
that.
let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS
Oh, that's a good point, Robert.
4447.
Casey knows where to get one.
If you're not familiar
Oh,
with
that doesn't
Quest
surprise
Yeah,
me.
right. he said I'm sure Casey knows where to get one.
Free weekly educational classes.
You know, let me Google that for you.
And the ability
If Ryan's listening to the feed,
Yeah.
hey, can you Google that for me? That'd be great.
educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information,
We might bring
call
that up
us
in our
at
sales meeting today.
1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Custom toys, printed with your logo, custom 8-ball.
Property. Problem is, you don't
1
know how
minute.
much it's
Yep.
worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911.
Hey, Robert, have you already
or check
left
us out online
LA?
at
Are you driving yet?
nextgenappraisals.com.
Yeah, it says
Says
on
he's
it.
on his way.
Yeah, H-Town or bus. On my way, fellas.
Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB.
How much time did you say?
Offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13%
15
water
seconds.
All right.
Call us today at
Plenty of time to go to the restroom and back.
Yeah,
Make
wasn't
some
gonna do
coffee.
that. I was gonna
Visit our website,
get a water, but I don't think I can do that.
That's 281
I think I'll wait another 10 seconds and then
Hold
go.
on 1 second.
Yeah.
This investment is offered
All right.
to accredited investors.
I'll bring us back. We're gonna go to Jim, the caller.
This is business 1110.
All right, we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Hey, good morning, Ashley. So, Right Path is all about practical real estate investing built on the experiences that Jason and I have buy, fixing, and flipping, wholesaling, and buy and holding 450 houses over the last 4.5 years. So, there's probably not anything that you can ask us that we haven't already experienced. It's really, really rare that happens. So we ask you during the radio show to put your fear of calling behind you. Put your fear of calling behind you. Jim has obviously done that. Jim, welcome to the show. How are you doing, man?
Thank you. My question has to do with using a contract, buying a house, and using a third-party financing form when you're using hard money. The buses are either conventional, I think VA or whatever, FHA or whatever. Do you check off conventional for hard? Does that fall under conventional for hard money lending when you're going to do something?
Where that really applies in the TREC form, and again, this is not meant to be legal advice because the TREC form is promulgated by the state of Texas, so we don't use the third-party financing addendum because the reason why that's used, it's for a retail buyer. When financing falls through, then it's another out for them to get their earnest money back. And our closing ratio is 100%. So we typically are using private money. And we've on occasion used hard money, especially when we're first starting out. And we think that every new investor should be using hard money. And even, up to and including the first 10 or 15 deals. And there's even reasons to use hard money beyond that. But we don't use the third-party financing addendum. What we do is we tell them that we're purchasing with cash. The seller doesn't really care. What they care is that you're putting earnest money up and there's something that you have at risk if you back out of the agreement. But the only person that really cares is going to be the title company. So as long as you let the title company know that there is hard money involved, then they'll look for the lending documents when they're preparing the HUD and all of that kind of stuff. But outside of that, because it's not going to be a Dodd, because, keep in mind that due to the Dodd-Frank rules, when you're using that puts more burden on the lender typically, if it's a retail like mortgage company, like like what Legacy Mutual Mortgage does, then they do a lot more, and you don't even really have a HUD anymore. You have a different form, and the lender has to prepare a lot more documents, and the title company's doing less. But in this situation, it's there's going to be a HUD, and it works just like a cash transaction.
To give you the
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for calling, Jim. To give you a how can I put this, an academic view, if you will, of what that financing addendum really is, it's a soft option.
Yes, it is.
And savvy real estate agents know that. Most retail buyers and sellers don't understand this.
Right.
But you will see sometimes a 45 and 60-day financing addendum.
Yeah.
And what they're really trying to do is they're building a soft option. Let me tell you what this looks like in a transaction. So you get an offer on your house. You get let me back up. You get multiple offers on the house, and the buyers bid the thing up past what it'll appraise for. Let's say the house is worth $200. They bid it up to $225. It appraises at $215. Typically, a lender will be in cahoots with the buyer, and the lender will say, well, we're only going to finance to $215, and the buyer says, well, I don't want to pay $225 because that's not what it's worth, regardless of what I decide.
And it's like,
to pay
why
for.
the heck did you offer that, right?
So,
it's really like the shenanigans that used to go on at the auction on the courthouse steps,
yes.
where you had some collusion going on between different bidders, and you'd have 2 or 3 bidders,
alleged collusion.
Right.
Sure, that doesn't happen anymore.
Sure, right. Well, and so what would happen is people would bid it up, and then everybody would leave, and then it would come back at the end because that buyer wouldn't actually perform his buying duties, and so then after everybody was gone, so it's similar to that.
So what they would do is they bid the property up to $225. Appraisal comes back at $215. They want to renegotiate at $215. The seller says, no, you offered $225.
Yes, they back out.
They will back out, and how they back out is this way. The lender essentially writes a letter and says, oh, well, these guys couldn't get approved for more than $215,000 in financing, which is really not true. Between $215 and $225, I mean, there's not that much difference. So the lender would write a letter that says, these guys aren't approved for financing past $215. Sorry, the deal is void. Give them their earnest money back. That's essentially what happens. So you've got to be careful with the financing addendums, not on your offers to buy, but when you sell as a flip property, because they will use that as a savvy agent will use that as a soft option for a retail buyer. So, and I'm willing to bet all of you guys just learned something. This is the benefit of doing 100 houses a year, right? You learn these lessons through. They're doing a lot.
But
of
he's talking. From the way he asked the question,
he's on the offer side.
Yeah, on the offer side, and so just how when we offer on the properties, we're not using that third-party financing addendum because the seller, hard money is the same as cash. Because you can typically, I know there's some hard money lenders out there that want 7 or 10 days, but that's just, that's crazy. Most hard money lenders can do it in 5 pretty easily. And if they can't, we can certainly refer you to 1 or 2. In fact, there's a big event tonight being put on by one of the biggest, and I know they can do it in 5 days for sure, provided that you are already checked out before. I'll never forget one time we had a private money lender that backed out at the last minute on a deal, and I picked up the phone and called Johnny. Johnny Hayes over at Jet Lending, and I'm like, dude, we've got a closing at 9:00 tomorrow, and I think it was like 3:00 in the afternoon the day before.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4, and I think, hey,
and I'm like, dude, man, I hate to do this, but we had a private money lender back out, and we need to fund this tomorrow, and you're the first guy I thought of. And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, just send me the address. Just text me the address. And literally 30 minutes later, he goes, oh yeah, we'll do that deal all day long. He's like, and so.
Now here's what I'll tell you. What's really important is you establish a relationship with those guys at the front end, right? They've got to have your application.
Yeah, if he didn't know me, and keep in mind, this isn't the Tom Perry or the Jason Bible that was 450 houses into this deal.
Yeah.
This was the Tom Perry that owned Fast Track, and then new business partner had only done at the time.
We had only done like 4 or 5 deals, I think.
Yeah, we were early on, and you had done some like 4 or 5 deals on your own before we had partnered up. So I'd been going to their events for a long time. I remember this event that's going to be tonight, where it's going to be like. What do you think? Pushing 800 people tonight?
Yeah, we might hit. I think they hit 1,000 last month, so it could be 800 or 900 people there tonight.
But I remember when the room was like like 30 people.
I remember when it was SRO.
Yeah, right.
It was standing room only. There was 40 people in the room.
Yeah, right. It was a small room, right? Yeah, and somebody asked me within the last couple of days, hey, do you think that the Rockets game is going to affect the show up? And I'm like, man, money doesn't sleep. You can DVR that stuff. I mean, the Rockets are going to do what they're going to do, and how much money is that going to put in your pocket?
That's right.
So unless you're going to actually be at the game and you're doing business there by bringing a client to the game, then what money is that? How's it going to build your future? That's building their future, not yours.
I know. And I got my Rocket shirt on today, but
yeah, go Stros. I mean, go Rockets, go Stros, right?
Yeah. Let's be real honest, man. Golden State is going to whip the snot out of the Rockets.
I don't know about that. I'm not going there yet. I'm holding out to see. Come on, we got within 12 points, and
I know.
And there's that Golden State guy that Durant just lit us up. I mean that's my biggest concern is we don't have a guy that matches up with that guy very well at all.
Well, and you're just watching the offense; they just weren't moving the ball around real well. I don't know,
which is where we've normally ended in the playoffs every single year. Is that when we get up to that dribble, and don't move the ball around. But anyhow, so Jeff said, speed is everything. We can table fund any. There we go. Table fund any deal we want. I've gotten deals and had closings the next day so many times. Title, survey, appraisal are the only things that take time. That's right. And you build relationships. I mean, like Michelle Imler. I mean, she can get in a pinch. She doesn't always want to do a rush because no one wants to do business that way, right? But if you in that special occasion, so there you go.
It really comes down to, look, if you've established relationships with these people on their team, if you've established relationships with Jet Lending, if you've established relationships with Michelle at Next Gen, if you've established relationships with the guys over at Texas American Title, we can make things happen really, really fast. But know this, it needs to be a deal. One, it absolutely has to be a deal. And two, you need to have established a relationship. And that relationship is getting set up with, Jet Lending, filling out that mortgage application, getting all that kind of stuff done, so that when you do have that really great deal, you call Johnny and he's like, wait, who are you? Have you filled out an app yet? I mean, we got to do a couple other things before we bring you in as a client. So, and their app, I think, is like one page, and it's not even front and back. So if you go to Jet Lending's website, I think it's jetlending.com. But in any case, to go back to doing deals quickly, I mean, that's the whole magic of this thing.
2 minutes.
So when we get back from the break, I want to talk about this deal. You talked a little about Wednesday, and I want to talk about integrity in this industry and how we're going to keep our promise, and we are going to keep our promise to let people know that when title companies and other investors do things they shouldn't, we are going to execute all of our options to the fullest extent of the law. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this case comes out. And I'll give you a prelude to it. About 6 months ago, maybe a year ago now, there was a rumor that there was a title company closing around other people's contracts, meaning if Tom had a contract on a property and I had a contract on a property, Tom's contract was first, but I brought it to the title company, they would close my contract around Tom's contract, which is really, really bad.
1 minute.
And we're going to talk about what the repercussions are for that, what your options are when that happens. And we're going to talk about our experience that we found out. There may actually be a second one that someone closed around us earlier this year. So we're going to talk about all that stuff after breaks. Jason Bible, Tom Perry at Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes.
We need to change the title.
The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group Protection.
Change what title?
The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold?
You know, maybe we ought to call it Right Path Real Estate memberships.
Benchmark has
Just
been
have
in
that
business for over 10 years.
our different membership levels, right?
Yeah.
Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs to tap into the $24 trillion
I think that pin description is just golden.
Call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor
1 minute.
for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992.
Oh, Brian, that's good to know.
Or reach
Said
us on
Jet
the
had
web
better
at
rates
fasttrackremodeling.com.
than the other hard money lender he'd used for a couple of years.
All right, fellas, hot mics.
Welcome back. Tom Perry, Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. So about a year ago, we got wind of a rumor, and it was a Facebook rumor, so I didn't put much thought into it. And the rumor was there was a title company that was closing around other investors' contracts. So that creates a little bit of an issue. So I posted in the group, I just said, well, if somebody ever does that to us, we are going to publicly just excoriate them. And then, of course, we are going to use all of the remedies available to us in common law. So, Tom, if you want to take a second and just explain, what does it look like when a title company closes around another investor? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so typically a title company isn't aware, but one of the things that we teach at our 3-day weekend retreat, again, the last one and this is a lesson that cost us $50,000 to learn this lesson the very first time.
It's a 50G lesson here.
And so after we learned that the very first time, then that you never have to learn that a second time once you've lost the first 50,000, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's a check mark at that point. So anyhow, what we do is we file a memorandum every single time that we get a property under contract. And what that does is it puts everyone on notice. It acts like a lien on the property.
Okay.
In fact, with a lien, Ashley Patton with Patton Law Firm was on the show yesterday and actually brought this up. I hadn't really considered this. I realized that what we could do is we could sue the buyer, the other investor that went around our contract. We could sue them for tortious interference. We could also sue the seller for breach of contract for not fulfilling their end of the contract. We wouldn't sue them if they just decided not to sell, but if they decide not to sell, because here's the thing. If I'm the seller of a house, I've got my house on the market, and let's say I'm asking $150,000, and somebody comes along and says, hey, I'll give you $142,000. And I say, okay, yeah, I'll take your offer. Well, the seller doesn't have to take that offer, right? They can say, let me consider it. I want to hear some other offers from some other people. They can wait. In fact, this is a question that we get oftentimes from buyers. I can put a property out there for sale for $150,000, and I can get 3 offers at $150,000 right off the bat. And what I realize is that when I have multiple people offering the price that I'm asking, I can probably get more than what I'm asking. Maybe I asked too low, right? So oftentimes people will call up and say, hey, is the price negotiable? Yes, the price is always negotiable. I can take less or I can take more, right? I mean,
it goes up or it goes down here, kids.
There's a property that we listed not too long ago for $38,000, I think it was, and we ended up selling it for $59,000. Went for considerably more than what we were asking.
Yep.
And so those situations do arise, right? But the seller needs to quit accepting offers once the contract is signed.
Right.
Once a contract's signed, you can't take any more offers. Now, I know that there's other investors out there that have done this. Shame on you. Especially if it's knowingly. Now, if you didn't know, okay, I get it. The seller, then it's the seller not being honest, right? And I had a situation one time, I'll never forget, a lot in Bel Air, that with this guy, wasn't carrying a Trek contract with me at the time. It's really the only time that I think I've ever lost a deal by not having a Trek contract on me. And I offered this guy $300,000 for his lot. And he accepted. We even shook on it. In Texas, that means something, right?
Yeah.
And we even went to lunch afterwards and bought him lunch and all that. Next day, call him, and apparently somebody else had offered him more, but I didn't have a written contract at that point in time. But once the contract's signed, the seller has an obligation to sell it to that buyer. And if another investor comes along, in this case, because we've learned that $50,000 lesson, then there's a memorandum of contract. And so what happened is that puts cloud on the title in the form of a lien. And Ashley Patton brought it up yesterday that lien is something that you can foreclose on a property with.
Uh-oh.
So the new buyer is at risk
of getting foreclosed
on. So we're about to start the foreclosure process to be able to, which is easier than suing somebody for tortious interference, which is easier than suing somebody for the breach of contract. And so we just start foreclosure proceedings, which in turn will draw the title company in.
That's right.
Which will bring that insurance policy into play. And so we'll keep you posted as this progresses through the series.
So a couple of folks on one of my Facebook threads said, hey, are you going to name and shame? And I'm like, all in due time, guys. I will post it will be public. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And I'll be more than happy to post it in Facebook. But I don't want to ruin the surprise. That's what's so much fun about a memorandum of contract, right? It's the surprise. That's the best part. So, we're just going to wait. It's going to be so much fun. I've been really looking forward to this. I was hoping it'd never happen, but I've been really looking forward to it. It is the, some people in, it's what's fascinating in a marketplace when you'll hear this all the time. And I saw it this weekend on a couple of Facebook threads where there's a memorandum of contract. Somebody gets it under contract and they say, well, I'm really going to close it, but you have to quote, pay this guy off to remove his cloud on title. And we're not the pay the guy off kind of people. Like that's what we don't recommend. And even with our students, we don't recommend doing that. You intend to close, buy the house. You're not going to pay me off. I'm going to buy the house, period. I'm going to do exactly what I said I'm going to do. I made a commitment to buy the house. I'm buying the house. It's that simple. And when folks start breaking their commitments, we have a real problem with that. And so it's a classic, what I hear sometimes as well, is that kind of a bully-like behavior. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a counterpunch. They decide not to do something, or they decide to go around us. We are going to counterpunch, and when we come back, we're going to hit so much harder. It's one of these things in business, and I know a lot of people do not like going to court. I love going to court because when we go to court, we win. It's that simple. Court is great to settle a dispute. It's not frivolous. What we're doing isn't frivolous, right? This is settling a dispute between two business owners. Actually, it's going to be three businesses at this point. And let's let the court decide who wins. Now, here's the reality. We have enough case law and common law behind us that says we're going to wipe the floor with these guys. But that's why you use the court system. A lot of folks, investors don't do that. And I'm like, absolutely. Nobody's getting paid off. There's no settlement. We're going to go in, guns blazing, and assert 100% of our rights. That's the whole point of the court. And people get scared. I'm calling my attorney. They're calling their attorney. Great. Let's get all the attorneys on the phone. Let's get everybody in the courtroom. Let's have a discussion. Because here's the reality. When it comes big boy time, when it becomes time to go to court, they're going to lose big or bigly. They're going to lose bigly.
Yeah, Daniel, the answer, he asked a question on the Book of Faces. Does the house have to be sold around the memorandum before you foreclose? Yes, because otherwise you're just forcing the seller to perform. So you're suing the seller for non-performance, and you can't foreclose just based on the contract and the memorandum against the seller of the property, because it's really difficult to force a seller that changes his mind not to sell. You can prevent them from selling to someone else. And then there is a statute of limitations on the contract, right? So
you can sue a seller for non-performance.
Yeah, you could,
but it's just not. You're not going to be. Typically, courts don't award you with the property.
Right.
It'll be some monetary damages, and truth be told, that's not.
It's
really
hard. It's hard to prove the damages too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so, for us, if it's somebody decided they want to sell their house and they call us up.
In this case, we've got established damages, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. We got established damages on this case. But if a seller calls us up and says, hey, man, I just decided not to sell, great. As long as you hold on to the house for at least 2 years, our contract is null and void. It reaches its statute of limitations, and then you're welcome to sell it. But otherwise, we've got an enforceable contract for the next 2 years. And for somebody who just decided, I'm going to live here, our stuff just goes away in the ether, so to speak, after 2 years. But what it does do is it prevents them from selling it to someone else, because they made a commitment to us and we made a commitment to them. They committed to us they were going to sell us the house. We committed to them we were going to buy the house at a certain price. And because we honor our word, we expect them to do the same. Truth is being ethical is a two-way street here. So in any case, that's what we plan on doing. So we'll see how this whole thing rolls out. We're more than happy to share with you guys the results of this thing. This is something that, it's one of those things where if you're a real estate investor and you're buying 5 or 10 houses a year, you will probably run into this maybe once in a career, if you do this for 20 or 30 years. The benefit of working with somebody like us, the benefit of listening to our radio show, is we do 100+ deals a year. I used to give this stat out all the time. Your average real estate agent does about 10 deals a year?
About.
So we get a year's worth of experience every month, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. In a year, we get 12 years worth of experience.
Well, with a lot of the properties that we're buying,
agent.
like in QPS, for example, I think we run into situations where people could be doing this for 4 or 5 years, never run into some of these situations.
Mm-hmm. No.
Hey, so while we've got just a quick second, want to give a shout out to a friend named Jennifer. It's her birthday. Just turned 21, so just got a text about that. So somebody asked me to give a shout out, so there you go.
Jennifer's birthday.
Jennifer's birthday.
Big 2-1. So when are you going to start buying some houses?
Yeah, right. Why haven't you bought a house yet?
Yeah, you're 3 years behind the curve. You could have started buying at 18.
You can sign contracts at 18. You could already have a portfolio build. What, slacker? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, we get back from the break. We're going to talk.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we get back from the break. We'll talk more about events coming up and all that stuff. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate with Tom Perry in tow.
In tow.
In tow.
Right.
Mike's off.
I was like, that was a really rough transition out, wasn't it?
Right.
I just lost track of time. I'm like, I don't know where we're at. I don't hear the music. I know we're getting close. But
Yeah, right. We're actually a minute early, I think, because that's why I actually got this to show us the stops, because sometimes I forget. And so it's
is
like
this is this a cell phone picture, like a bad
Yeah,
cell
right,
phone
yeah, I
picture of
think it
what's
is.
sitting on the desk at
Yeah,
the studio?
Probably.
Stop it. That's my cell phone.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
think-
clean
I think
the
it's
lens
like,
every
it's
now
like
and
a
then, Nikki.
TIFF.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a TIFF. Right. In fact, even that one's
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better.
Analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514.
Remember they have Oakleys on sale. They never have the ones I want.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, imagine that.
That's kind of how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy.
So you saw that, right?
At AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741.
We got
and mention
two meetings a week. That's
Real
it.
Estate.
I mean, I really think it's getting to the point where it's like,
cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart, then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13%
the other problem is I think it's
Call us today
the
at
communication is so low unless it's at that meeting,
or visit our
right?
website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, fellas, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Probably shouldn't even give out the phone number on the last segment because we really can't take a call.
That's torture.
Yeah, it is, right. So it's just habit, and it just rolls off the tongue. so the big takeaways from the day today, we covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah,
a lot of
we
ground.
did.
So the big takeaway is if you're in real estate investing in Houston, Texas, you got to be at this Super Investor event tonight.
It's such a fun event.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's the who's who in real estate. And you're going to hear me chuckle, many, many times like a deep belly laugh. How many times did I ask people, so what do you do? Well, I'm a real estate investor. Oh, yeah, how many deals have you bought? None.
You're a real estate
Hey,
investor.
why not call yourself a brain surgeon? Because you've never done one of those either.
You're not a real estate investor yet.
Right.
So let's not introduce ourselves. Hey, I'm brand new. I'm trying to figure things out.
Hey, yeah, I'd like to start learning how to invest in real estate. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
If you hadn't bought a house in about 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, for you active landlords, you get a pass.
Of course, right? Yeah, hey. In fact, more than anything, the landlords, y'all are really the ones that are real estate investors.
That's right.
Because the only way really to build wealth and income is through buy and hold real estate. Otherwise, you're just you're building an income, right? And it's if you're running it like a business, you're building an income. So we're going to be there tonight. We'll be there actually a little bit early because we oftentimes have meetings with some folks there right before the meeting, beat traffic and all that kind of stuff. Because traffic is it can be a bear right at the time that it starts. And then for sure you don't want to miss the meeting tomorrow night. Actually, a funny story. Andy and I were working on the brochure that you were kind of going through, and a guy said, "Hey, I've listened to a podcast." He just showed up at the office, like, "Hey, when's y'all's next event?" I'm like, "You could go to rightpathrealestate.com and learn about our schedule." So you don't actually have to show up at the office in order to learn where our next events are going to be, because our next one that we're going to be, where we're the ones, it's our Right Path Real Estate event. It's going to be Thursday. You're going to be given a Q1 update.
Yeah, and what's going to happen the rest of the year.
Yeah, going to have the crystal ball out, talking about
the Whataburger Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah, so you could turn it and see what the next meal is. So.
And then weekend retreat starts Friday.
Yeah, the
last 3 day weekend retreat.
And
it's a whopping $197. Just go to rightpathrealestate.com. Shoot an email to Veronica, support@rightpathrealestate.com. She'll get you the discount code for it. But support at rightpathrealestate.com is $200. I think we've got 3 or 4 seats left. We will sell a handful of seats tonight. So if you want to go, today is the day. I mean, it really is, unless we don't sell anything tonight, which would be shocking to me. But
it's never happened before.
It's never happened before. So go to rightpathrealestate.com, send an email to Veronica, support@rightpathrealestate.com, and she will get you signed up. And then for everybody else, I'm excited. This is going to be a huge weekend retreat. I'll see you guys for huge. So I'll be here in studio Friday morning. You'll be here tomorrow morning.
I'll be here. Build your team Thursday, yeah.
And we will see you then. So hope to see you guys tonight. Thanks for listening.
All right, fellas, have a good one.
Thanks, you too.